when you've had to, just suddenly thought of this, when you've had to do intimate roles, especially like that one, big, very sexy kiss that you had to do with Mr. Vinod Khanna. Is that difficult to do at that time, or is that just part of acting? And did you do it because there was some pressure at that time because, you're a young actress who's has to do certain things with it?
No, at that time I thought that, you're an actress and the director guides you and the roles are written. And so, it's part of your acting, it's part of what you're doing on screen. And then later I realized that you can always say no. And I did after that.
It comes with it's silly, right?
Also, because we didn't have a film background. We had no one in this industry.
But you
were
didn't look
relatives or
uncomfortable.
friends or, anything of that sort.
So would you today, especially being now that you're married with a family and stuff, do you have very clear boundaries of what you would and wouldn't do?
Well, yeah, I had them 20 years back.
Okay. And you still have
So nothing has changed.
I find it quite unbelievable that your husband actually didn't know who you were. How is that possible?
It's I often get asked that, but I think when you've grown up abroad and in a time or period when they didn't even have DVDs and stuff like that coming out, they just had those not very good prints of video cassettes that they used to get
Pirated video cassettes.
Pirated. And so all those kids, if you see that generation, was into their studies, were into what they were doing, and didn't watch very many movies. I think the only movie he actually remembers is Amar Akbar Anthony. That was one of the movies that he had watched, and he had heard songs of Pakiza because of his mom, my mother. And also he doesn't know Hindi. He speaks Marathi, but he cannot speak Hindi.
So is that where the accent comes from? When he's speaking, obviously he's like fully American.
Yeah.
So your accent...
And my kids. My kids. So I'm hearing that accent day in and day out in my house.
Come on, let's hear you put it on. I want to hear how
people don't realize what happens is when I'm in America, I'm talking to all the Americans, I'm talking to my kids, and it's I start rolling my r's and I start talking like that. And when I come here, it's completely different. So for a few days, I'm like confused. I say dance instead of dance, and I say no, I have to say dance. I'm an Indian. Can't. And so it kind of alternates between me saying those words and then correcting myself and going back to, and then you see my accent slowly changing when I'm here. So say after a month or so, my accent is like really, again, back to, Indian. And I pick up the phone and my husband is like, can I talk to Madhuri? And this is her. What happened to you? So I'm Indian again. So it's
this is the girl you fell in love with, okay?
Exactly.